welcome to the Jay-Z Show. My name is Jay and this is
Z. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We will be reviewing The Irishman.
This film is directed by Martin Scorsese. It stars Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci and Al Pacino. Al Pacino is the first time collaborating with Martin Scorsese, which is very unusual.
Really?
Yes, first time ever. It's amazing, isn't it? Because The Godfather was directed by Francis Ford Coppola, okay? Not Martin Scorsese. Martin Scorsese later on went to make Goodfellas, Mean Streets, Raging Bull, and Casino, which were all gangster movies, but he never used Al Pacino.
Wow, I mean, I had no idea actually, because you'd think Al Pacino would be associated with Martin Scorsese.
Exactly, but Al Pacino's career took a different path. Only now I would say that this is one of those roles he's got now which has really given him an ability to shine his talent.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I always thought, no, this guy's too serious. You know, I even said it to Jay before the film started. I was like, I'm not really looking forward to his performance as much as I am looking forward to Robert De Niro's performance, but throughout the entire film, he stole the show. Yeah. And obviously we'll go in more detail later, but let's just start about how it
Well, basically, it starts with it's a story of Frank Sheeran, played by Robert De Niro. The film starts with him being sitting in a nursing home and giving an interview and telling the interviewer about his life. And it starts off with Frank basically in the 1950s when he's young and he's got a family and he's a truck driver. And what happens is that he basically is selling meat products, etc. He decides to sell them to local gangsters.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's more like he's delivering, he has an honest job, but what it is, he finds it difficult to make money on top of that, so what he starts doing is making selling easy money, so selling on the side.
Yeah, it's only then that he basically, he faces criminal charges and the union lawyers get him off. And then basically he has I would say like a godfather in Joe Pesci who plays Russell Bambolini or something, and basically Russell is the quiet one, but he's the one who keeps everything together. Yeah,
so he knows what's going on and everyone tells him, asks for his advice. Exactly. He doesn't shoot the gun. He doesn't he doesn't...
He gives the orders.
He gives the orders, that's what it is, yeah.
But in a very quiet way. And basically what Russell does is introduce Robert De Niro, Frank Sheeran, to Jimmy Hoffa, who is the union leader of the Teamsters, a very large organization of truckers in America. And basically Jimmy Hoffa and Frank Sheeran become really close friends. He acts like he's a bodyguard, and then Jimmy basically rewards him by giving him, making him president of one of the chapters in the union membership. And it shows the rise of Frank Sheeran. At the same time, it shows
the fall of the
fall of the Jimmy Hoffa. Jimmy Hoffa.
I think everyone in general. I mean, one thing I would like to mention is when you watch the film, you see before you even introduce to anyone, you're given a little snippet about them. So they'll say their name and they'll say the date they died and how they died, like 5 bullets to the face, and it just shows that everyone. And I think throughout the entire film, this is a 3.5 hour long film. Literally, most of them just got shot. Yeah, you know.
It was well researched.
Yeah.
And to some extent, I would say it was partly factual as well.
I mean, it is based on the book. I heard that you paint houses.
That's right, yeah. And what that basically means in mobsters' language is, can you kill someone and splatter blood all over their homes? And that's basically what it means.
There's a lot of gangster talk, you'll see, like, they wouldn't exactly say, I want you to go do this. I think at one point there was Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro just look at each other. Yeah. He just looks at him.
Yeah, and he gets the message.
And he doesn't even say anything, he doesn't even like put his eyebrows up, and he's just looking at him. Yeah. And he gets the point, and the next thing you know, he's already shot.
He goes on a hit. He goes on a hit, yeah. And the reason why they don't say anything is basically there's a lot of FBI eavesdropping on their conversations. Yeah. And this is basically how all of them end up getting done and getting caught out and being put into prison.
Yeah, I mean, this is before the rise of Robert Kennedy, and how his involvement with the Irishman, the union themselves, really
sponsor him.
Yeah, sponsor him.
Yeah. But then what he does, as soon as he becomes president, his brother Bobby he makes Bobby
turn against
the Attorney General,
Yeah.
and he goes against the mob,
Yeah.
and the mob basically don't like it. So what they're trying to show in this movie is that dirty politics, and also the collision between mobster rule and politics, and they showed that because of what happens in Cuba, etc. The mob loses, the mafia loses a lot of money, and as a result they don't like Kennedy, and perhaps the innuendo was that maybe they had Kennedy killed, and then Bobby was killed as well, and as soon as Kennedy is killed, basically Bobby, and gets away from the mob. It changes his attention. But it's too late by then because they don't like him. It's as simple as that. And it's a 3.5 hour long movie. I think, and the thing is, there is no scene in there which basically bores you out. You're so dragged into this movie that you don't want to leave it. You understand? I just found it was very, very entertaining, very informative. The acting is superb. You have 3 acting legends, as mentioned, and the fact that they're all together with the great director like Martin Scorsese says it all. This film could never go wrong.
Robert De Niro not only is the storyteller, but he is the one that witnesses it all.
And he carries out all the hits.
And he carries out all the hits, so he's the guy you go to when you want to get your when you want them to get their hand. You don't want to get your hands dirty. That's what it is.
I think there was one thing which I didn't like about his character was that basically they showed him to be just a yes man. And they didn't show any relationship between him and his family. And secondly, basically the only emotion they ever showed was when basically Jimmy Hoffa is killed off, and that's the only time they show any emotion from Robert De Niro. But his face says it all. He was literally acting with his eyes, his smile, etc. He didn't really need to say much. As I said, the show stealer was Al Pacino. He was loud, he was abrasive, but he was funny at the same time.
He was. I mean, obviously, one thing about this film is just the language, of course, but it's just the way he gets angry and the way he's like, he gets ticked off with everyone, but he does it in such a way that you don't really like, I don't like this guy, but really you actually kind of root for this guy because he's just really funny and he's very characteristic, charismatic. That's the word.
Very charismatic.
But one thing that we learned throughout this entire film is that you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And I think that's one of the main things that we said.
And I think that's shown by the ending. The ending is very, very,
sad.
I would say, sad. It basically shows him to be left all alone in the world. Because of his his gun toting, etc. He's basically left all alone. His family doesn't want to know him, especially his daughter who has always suspected him. And they show that he's reflecting upon his life, and it's not a very good, very sad ending. But it's to be expected.
With the gangster life is that you're either gonna get killed or you're just gonna die, but really slowly and sadly. One thing I found really sad was he did his time in prison and all his friends passed away in prison. But the saddest thing is that he's picking out his own casket. He's picking out where he's gonna be buried. He's gonna pick out how he's gonna be buried. Is he going to be burnt, or is he going to be just cremated and stuff? So I just find it really sad because he's just waiting for death, and for a guy who's always killing people and always on a mission, it's just sad to see him like this. But at the same time, this is what happens when you're in that kind of
I think it shows that he deserves what he gets, basically.
Overall, I think this is an amazing film. Me and Jay, it took us about 3 days to watch, only because we were interrupted several times, but we didn't get bored. It felt like
and we didn't lose the narrative.
I felt it could have been a series. I felt it could have been a short Netflix series, but I think because Martin Scorsese is old school, he likes to make films and he wants people to go to the cinema. He wants people to enjoy it. And I think it doesn't matter how long the film is. At the end of the day, the story is what drives the film, and that story was just well written and well carried as well. So
also, I think this is basically Martin Scorsese, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, because of the age, etc. This was like a fond final farewell to the gangster genre, which these people have actually
been
generated throughout the years. There's no one better to carry out a movie like this than those four combined together.
Yeah.
So all in all, Irishman, fantastic movie. You must watch it. Do not miss it. It's very memorable, and it's available on Netflix. Okay. Thank you for watching.
I hope you liked our show today. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and tune in next time when we'll be reviewing another amazing film. Take care. Bye.
Bye.